So welcome everyone. It's nice to see actually such pleasant amount of people here. This is the first community meeting for the VDK project, and we're going to be introducing a little bit ourselves, introducing the project, introducing what we are working on at the moment, and having later on we will have an open discussion, maybe if you have some questions. I have created a wiki page for this meeting, and I shared the link today.
You can share your screen if you want.
Yeah, I will do that. And here is the link to the page. So, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
And here is like a sum of agenda. And if anyone feels like editing the page and adding some links, you can feel free to do that. So let's start, I think, with the team introduction. So I will start with myself. My name is Akita, and I just joined the VDK project on March 15th, so it's like a month. It's been a bit more than a month for me. And yeah, I'm the community manager, so I will be doing most of the like socializing, I don't know, taking care of the community, promoting a little bit the project, and handling the communications with the people who are adopting VDK for themselves. Who wants to go next?
Okay, I can go next. So hi, my name is Mira. I'm leading the data analytics team in VMware. Our team consists of data engineers, data analysts, data scientists who are using Verstar Data Kit from VDK internally. I'll pass the ball to Antoni.
Yeah, I'm Antoni. I am one of the main developers of Verstar Data Kit, also technical lead of the project. Yeah.
I'm Vera. I'm part of the data analytics team. And I don't know what else to add.
I'm Alex. I'm also part of the data analytics team.
Hi, I'm Desi, also part of the analytics team. Yeah, we're using VDK in our day-to-day work.
Okay, so the last of the analytics team, data engineer working in VMware for almost 3 years.
Hi, my name is Yu. I'm actually a software engineer in Analytics Cloud platform. And I'm not a data science, but I do the other things. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you, guys. Perhaps I can go next. My name is Dako, and I'm a manager. I'm the manager of the data pipelines team, which developed the Verstar Data Kit project. Essentially, I've been with VMware for about 3 years, and I've been working on the VDK for about 2 years now. And I believe that's it.
I also invite if you're on this call, and if you want to introduce yourself, feel free to unmute yourself and say something.
Okay, if people are shy, we can just continue with the agenda. That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. We're shy too. So yeah, now I will show you a bit, tell you a bit about the project. Basically, this is a repository. I'm going to share it also in the chat. How do I return to? Okay. So VDK is like a okay. Yeah. We're working on a tool for data engineers to develop, troubleshoot, like I actually ingest and transform the data workflows, which we call data jobs. Then yeah, the tool is kind of very simple to use and install. Basically, you need only Python, and then this is how to get started with it. Yeah, so the jobs can be scheduled and deployed, and this is in general automation of data pipelines. That's kind of my sum up, but we will go more in detail in a moment. And anyone has anything to add?
Yeah, so as Aggie mentioned, VDK is focused towards easing and actually delivering data workflows faster. It provides an SDK for local development of data pipelines, as well as a control service, which can be deployed. And you can actually start productionizing your data workflows by deploying data jobs like super easily to that control service, which takes care of code versioning, of schedules of your data workflows, logging, essentially all that absolutely necessary functionality comes out of the box with VDK. So data, I would call it data practitioners, because it essentially includes data engineers, data analysts, and it actually allows them to focus more on actually doing their data cleaning, their processing, extracting data from third-party services and pushing them into the same lakes and database. So it's really, it's a single tool that actually does the data integration, the data transformation, and pushing the data back. Let's say data-driven applications, BI tools, machine learning platforms if you're using such. So essentially covers the whole data flow.
And to this, on top of this, I want to add that we're at the moment searching for like a project that would like to use it with us, and we could work together and support you into adopting VDK into the project. Okay, anything else to kind of introduction? No. Okay, then Tony, maybe you can share something that we're doing lately, latest updates.
Yeah, can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Cool. So if you go to the main project page, there are releases. We try to make release every month. The release is more of an announcement, which aims to show what we've done recently, what major features we have included in the last month, for example. And yeah, in the last, so for example, for the last month, since what we call in best IDP 0.3, some of the major features we have done is we have added support for Kerberos authentication provider in the control service, which means that any companies, organizations which want to install the server part of a style identity, now they can configure and set their own Kerberos infrastructure as authentication provider in the style identity with Kerberos. There's more information about how to configure it in the term installation. A second major feature is alpha version of VDK lineage. This is a new plugin which will provide lineage data information from any SQL query, regardless of the database. So it's database agnostic, executed using VDK. I guess I need to reconfigure destination. I will actually show a quick demo of this. The third major milestone is again with the VDK server. Now we support the latest version of Kubernetes. There were some changes related flat storage Kubernetes that we make use of, while automatically cleaning up resources and some improvements, efficiency improvements they've done. Now, when you deploy, I'm gonna show a quick demo of this as well. Users can now override the VDK version of the deployed data jobs. And I'll explain a little bit more when we show the demo. And the last major thing that happened in the last month is we started a new process for adding proposals called VDK enhancement process. It's very similar and based on Kubernetes enhancement process or Rust or Python. Which for major changes, people can make proposals. One example is Repo integration, which is currently in progress and is being actively developed, which has been the first such enhancement proposal. I can encourage you to go to the release summary. For the sake of a bit, so I'm going to show a quick two demos. One is how you can override the VDK version of deployed job. So let's say that we have you develop your jobs locally. At some point, you want to deploy to be executed from the cloud, which is in our case based on Kubernetes. When you deploy the job, it's deployed code. It takes your code, which is the one that you develop. For those who don't know, each data job is basically a directory which you develop the code. It could be SQL, it could be Python, it could be something else. And once you're able to open, you can deploy it so that it's on a scheduled basis in a cloud environment. When you deploy a job, it automatically versions the real data job, but also the SDK, it runs with a specific version of the SDK. This allows, if we have 1,000 jobs running on the cloud, each of those 1,000 jobs will use the same version of the VDK, of the SDK. This allows better compliance. This allows also better operations. This all use the same VDK. But let's say that we want to upgrade to new version of VDK, which, for example, may contain breaking changes. They want to use some older version of VDK. In order to do that, until now, you could only set the job version, which would set what is the version of your code that you want to deploy. With this new change, you can now specify with a command which VDK version you want. Let's say I pick up this one, and you can specify the name of the job and the team, and it should pick up the new version. And now every next run of the data jobs on a batch basis and schedule would use this version of VDK instead of the release one, which is the latest one. Cool. And I'm going to show us a quick demo on VDK lineage. Any questions? Let's say that we develop this job. What job I develop? Hello translate job. My job does pretty simple things. It has a table called hello table, which I have hello in different languages, and I created a new table, hello word length, where I want to say in one language is the new table. So I do transformation where I detect the language. So when I run the job, the first thing actually, VDK, the new command is called Marquez server. Marquez is UI for visualization of jobs. And we have added utility command so that you can start quickly the market server. It's all part of the goal of hiding complexity from users. So this will start our market server. We need to make sure that we set lineage URL. And now when we run our job, VDK run translate job, we'll be able to track the job here. First, we can see, I guess the job already completed. If the job wasn't complete, if the job wasn't complete, we'll be able to see it while running. It took 1 second, and we can see that it automatically detected that hello translate job is reading data from hello world and writing into the hello world blank. This could work for any SQL query, so you'll be able to visualize much more complex relationships. And it's an alpha version, but somebody encourage to install it to try it out yourself. It will work with any version of personality the same database.
I have one question. Does VDK provide any APIs for such types of integration?
Well, yeah, the same information we using open lineage standard. Basically,
Yes.
if you go to the documentation of the lineage plugin, you can see we are basically using open lineage standard. So when you start the VDK lineage plugin, you can integrate with other tools, not just Marcus. Any tool that supports open lineage can be integrated. Also, you can VDK provides a second wave integration with you can write a plugin, which Python piece of code, which can take this lineage evaluation and store it anywhere you want.
The graph that you showed, it seems to me that you had one SQL file, then one Python file, then one SQL file again. So in the graph, one object means one file. My question here is, for example, in the Python file, you have executed a SQL script. Would it be shown as a separate object on the graph, or?
The graph is tracking the tables and the jobs. It's not tracking files. It's just showing the data job at what table, name of the table, hello world, in the destination table, hello world length.
So actually, if you had done everything in the Python file, again, you would see the same thing. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, and that concludes, I think, my the things that we currently are working on is mainly the biggest thing is about Airflow integration.
Okay, thank you. And I know that we were planning to show a video, but I don't have a link to it. Dimi, was it on you? Okay. Anyway, I can proceed for now because the next point is what are we planning to do in the near future with the code.
Yeah, it's on me. Let me quickly share my screen. Okay, can you see a roadmap page?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So even though this roadmap hasn't been updated for a while, it's still completely valid. And we continue to work mainly on these three initiatives or topics, let's put them. So we continue working on ease of use improvements, and we are gathering feedback from both internal and external users of VDK, and we are trying to make it as easy to use as possible. And as one of the features which Antoni showed a few minutes ago, specifying the version of VDK that you want to use in after your job has been deployed is a good example of that. The other major thing that we are working on is the workflow engine integration. So we are working on adding integration, the ability to integrate with Apache Airflow. And hopefully this initiative will be completed in the upcoming month. So we expect once this effort is completed, users to be able to make an integration between the VDK control service and running instance of Apache Airflow, which will allow the creation of DAGs using VDK data jobs. So essentially, users are going to be able to create pipelines or flows consisting of data jobs, which can then execute jobs according to a certain schedule, re-execute jobs on failures, and make more complex paths consisting of data jobs. So, for example, execute job A, and then job B, and finally job C, or something along the lines are like after jobs A and B have completed, then start job C, and so on. So this would allow great flexibility of scheduling data jobs, because so far users had to make different tricks with their schedules so that they can ensure that on a certain job, for example, job C runs only after job A has completed, or something like that. And this, we're going to solve this problem with this Apache Airflow integration. The other thing that we're actively working on is the data lineage tracking capabilities. Antonio already showed a demo on that, and we'll continue the effort on that initiative as well. Our aim here is to ultimately provide users with the ability to get data lineage for their data jobs using something other open source components, similar to what Antonio already has shown. So we are going to continue working on the VDK capabilities to support this functionality, and we are also going to provide user guides in the documentation on how to set up different scenarios so that you can track your lineage. And that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about the what we have on our roadmap and what we're currently working on. Any questions or comments? Okay, then I'm done as well.
So is there something about the video that we want to share, or is it not coming?
Are you referring that we have a YouTube channel? Is that what you're referring to?
I don't think so, but okay, I will share my screen and yeah. So yeah, basically now is kind of the open discussion moment, I think. And I will just add it here.
Just one note before we move into the discussion. Adi, can you show us, how can we actually download and start using VDK, like where we should look for, and also what are the communication channels with the team? How can we reach out to the VDK community?
Okay, so basically I already added, I pasted the link to this page that I created for this meeting. So here are most of the things that you can find about the VDK. So this is our Slack channel link. This is our YouTube channel. We have so far like 3 videos here, but another one is coming up and is being recorded now. Yeah, the release notes are also here. Our Twitter page. Basically, if you write Versatile Data Kit in Google, and you can also find it super easily. I just found it that way, where we update about the upcoming events and like conferences potentially, or articles that we are posting. And an article also is here. Yep. So yeah, just Angelica is writing for us some useful articles, and this is the overview of versatile data kit that she did. And there are a couple of more articles that we have written by her. Yeah, I can also kind of paste this maybe in the Zoom chat.
Okay, and where can you see the instructions on how to download VDK and start using it? Can you show us the GitHub page where this can be found?
Yeah, so installation and getting started is like versatile data kit repository. Just scroll a little bit past the overview, and yeah, this is the guide of installing it. Here's the link to the documentation, contribution if someone wishes to contribute, and also here we have a mailing list, and there are some useful links also from the ones that I mentioned.
That's great.
Anything else?
I think there were some guides in the documentation. Can you also show us how to find those, just like super quickly?
Okay, so installation page is here. It's also, yeah, okay, kind of everything that is needed is in the first page. This is the installation page. Yeah, kind of.
So at the top on the right that there were examples. I guess, yeah, can you just click on those so we can actually have a look at what examples are available?
Yeah. Here are some of the examples that we have that are kind of simple data jobs that you can test out when you install it locally.
That's great.
Yeah, so basically this is the code. I don't know by heart all of the examples, but
yeah, we can
maybe this is the easiest one from the REST API. Yeah, so basically it combines like SQL and very simple ingestion.
Yeah, we saw where the examples are, so we'll have a look. Thanks for that.
Okay.
If you go to the introduction into the wiki.
You mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah, on the right, you have user documentation. There is a menu.
On the right side.
On the right side, which is very useful. For example, you can click on examples. You show the source code, but here you have also some kind of instructions for details. For example, click on the second one, which was you show the source code, and you can here see like guides on how it works, which is hopefully useful. Step by step.
That's great. Thank you.
Yep. Anything else to add, to show, to share?
Is it okay if I ask a question? I've been going over the GitHub repository, and I get the impression that it's meant to be run only in Kubernetes. Is that correct, or is that a misunderstanding?
Yeah, no. Basically, let's tell it consists of two things. SDK is completely independent, can be used by its own, it can be run anywhere. It's the primary tool which used to develop jobs, run them locally. It has source data library, abstraction for ingesting and protecting data, which provides quite a bit of value. And the second part, which is optional, you can install VDK server and control service, which runs on Kubernetes. So that you can deploy jobs there to run in managed manner. And there you'll get some monitoring notification and other capabilities in order to make sure the jobs run in production. But you don't need to use it. You can use only the SDK and still have this automatic lineage comes directly from the SDK, for example. The ingestion methods are in the SDK instead. Does it make sense?
Yes, and another question I had was, what kind of workflow do you envision for people using VDK? I could see that if a larger organization decided to use it, they might have multiple engineers writing all of these automations. Would there be, is there some kind of division, or would they all have to have like complete access to the VDK, like they all have the same permissions?
Yeah, I can answer the first part, and then maybe you can add if there is something else I'm missing. So actually, VDK is, let's call it, multi-tenancy tool. So essentially, it allows multiple teams to have their separated contributions. So it's essentially what I'm trying to say, that each team can only write or rewrite the data jobs that belong to their particular team. Whenever each user creates a job, there is a configuration file which is which has to be within the data job, which specifies what is the schedule when this data job would run. But it also points out who is the team who owns that particular data job. Essentially, only members of that team can actually override this particular data job.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Maybe someone is actually interested to use it, or you have a use case to share. Yes. If there is nothing for the open discussion from my side, it's kind of be interesting to figure out together how frequent we want to make these meetings and set the next meeting.
I just have one question before I go to the frequency of the meeting. Varis, have you actually tried VDK, and like, do you have any intended goal, and how do you see VDK helping you?
Oh, no, I'm a very new joiner. I learned about VDK only about 2 days ago, but I am a DevOps engineer. I'm always interested in finding about new things. It's kind of an advantage in the job market.
Yes. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions, and yeah, join the Slack channel as well. We'll try to help you.
All right, thanks.
And by the way, Varis, is there any other container management solution that you would like VDK to be supported other than Kubernetes?
I'm not really using anything other than Kubernetes or just raw Docker at the moment. I know that Rocket exists as an alternative, and there are many other DevOps engineers that I've been in contact with that say that it might at one point overtake Kubernetes. But I don't know enough about Rocket myself to make any statements with certainty.
Got it. Thanks for the answer.
I give back to you.
Nice. Okay. I'm happy to be part of this. So yeah, I think meeting frequency and is dependent on what we want to discuss, like what is the agenda kind of for these meetings. Now, this was the introduction meeting, but I think that the frequency needs to be adjusted to taking into account what are we discussing. Like, I saw that other communities are making this actually weekly. So if there is necessity, we can make it weekly.
I believe weekly would be too often for us, at least initially. I would prefer to go with a bi-weekly or a monthly meeting, but again, this is up for discussion. So
Yeah, for me, I think the same, maybe bi-weekly or monthly.
I guess let's start with monthly, and then we'll see how it goes, and then if required, or if we have like too much information, we make it bi-weekly. So
Yeah, I think we should cover similar topics like demo, what we did last month and what in the future. And we should also sort of open ask a week for before that for topics in the channel, so that people can share what kind of things we want to discuss.
Yeah, it would be nice to have the questions kind of and things already prepared, because now it was like basically overview. And yeah, for next week meeting, I think we can discuss in the Slack channel what we want to talk about. So potentially the week of the next meeting could be between 15th and we're going to KubeCon then. So the week between 23rd and 27th of May.
sounds
good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then I will schedule it after this and also post on Slack. That's it from my side for the questions. That's it.
Okay. Do we have anything else on the agenda or anything else to discuss?
We don't have anything else in the agenda. Yeah. Okay. So once
Agi,
again,
do you want to wrap it up? Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and yeah, check out our links. I pasted everything here, and yeah, maybe leave a little star on our GitHub profile, and I hope to see you on the next meeting.
Thanks. See you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.